Please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the recurve men team gold medal match.
Hier ist das Goldfinale der Recurve-Herren-Teams. Holt die Athleten herein.
Time now for the recurve men's team gold medal match at the 2023 Hyundai World Archery Championships here in Berlin. A world title at stake, and it's the defending champions from Korea taking on a team that have never won a medal in this particular discipline, Turkiye. Time, of course, to go down to meet the contenders.
On target number 1, representing the Republic of Korea.
Auf Scheibe Nummer 1 für die Republik Korea.
Kim Woo-jin. Kim Jae-duk. Lee Woo-suk. On target number 2, representing Turkiye.
Auf Scheibe Nummer 2 für die Türkei.
Mete Gazaz. Berkin Turan. Abdullah Yildiris. The line judge for this matchup is
Die Kampfrichterin für dieses Match ist
Nasrin Kashkai. The gold medal match, champions of the world, is available.
So here we go, Korea line up with world number 5, world number 10 and world number 14, Kim Woo-jin, Kim Jae-duk and Lee Woo-suk. Turkiye here line up with the world number 12, 38 and 55, Mete Gazos, the reigning Olympic champion, Berkim Timur, who shot well in the semi-finals, and Abdullah Ildemis. Korea, red-hot favourites, for sure. Turkiye never won a medal at the recurve men's team competition at the World Championships, going up against an 11-time world champion and the reigning champions, Korea. They haven't had it all their own way here in Berlin, but I fancy this is a huge mountain to climb for Turkiye.
Yeah, just if we look at the semifinals and the type of scores that Korea was able to produce on this finals venue, I think, I mean, Kim Woo-jin thinks the same. I think they're gonna not make this easy for Turkey in any manner.
Well, Kim Jae-duk with the last arrow at an 8. You kind of, with the Koreans, tend to go, oh wow, an 8.
Yeah, and I think I'm not trying to nag about it, but I think in my case I would have absolutely hated the way that the sun would be directly into my face on this finals venue. So I would have tried to block it as much as possible with a bucket cap, like the Turkish archers are doing. The Koreans don't have any caps on. They're just going for it and staring directly into the sun. So I wonder if that's going to affect them in any way, or if they thought about it, or if they just decide to be okay with it. But I would have trouble with this venue.
It's an interesting point. It does mean that after those arrows in a slightly different order, albeit same value shot, so all square. But it is an interesting point. I'm trying to think of when I've seen a Korean even wear sunglasses.
I've seen them wear sunglasses, but not often while shooting. But I do know the ladies often have bucket caps on.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm trying to remember if I think Im Dong Hyun sometimes wore a bucket cap, but I cannot remember any more.
Well, there's the recovery. Lee Woo-suk getting a 10 after an 8, and now back to Kim Jae-duk. We put this not quite out of reach, but it certainly isn't out of reach now. A 57 available to Turkiye, but I think you can do the maths and work out that 3 10s are required for that.
So with 2 10s, they can still share the set, but they cannot take this set anymore. But at this point, the sun has rotated so much that you're now blocking it with your top limb if you're in full draw. So you can at least see where you're aiming. But it's still going to be pretty annoying, I think. I'm not saying it's a bad venue, it's just an extra challenge for the archers.
So 54 for Turkiye means a 2-set-point-to-0 lead for Korea. What was interesting to me is that when Lee Woo-suk was shooting his final arrow of that set, Kim was standing behind him, completely shielding his eyes with his forearm.
Yeah, so they are affected by it. And I wonder if it's like a pride thing, they don't want to wear a bucket cap, or if it's more like a the thing that they forgot to bring, or
I think the team as organised as Korea haven't forgotten. I think you're probably right. They're saying, perhaps the rest of the world should be quite happy about this. Hey, we don't need the aid of shade from the sun. It's natural, the sun. I've got to live with it. I know that's crazy, but you know, maybe there is that sort of ritualistic approach to it. That, you know, hey, wearing a cap is too much of an advantage. Don't do that. Be interesting to find out.
it would be, yeah. Maybe some way we can figure that out.
Turkey winning 2 out of the previous 7. This is the 8th time they square off. Moving into the second set, Turkey will shoot first on target 2.
Korea was certainly in a huddle after they'd shot their arrows in the last set. I wonder whether they're talking about how they're going to cope with the light in their eyes. They've got the 2-0 lead, so it will be Mete Gazos and Turkiye to start set number 2. Yeah, it's just a bit too up and down from Turkiye. They need to be hitting a few more 10s here. But then saying that, in the first set, Korea only hit 3. The 27 set by the European team.
Yeah, 27 is typically not that bad in a finals venue, especially with the added challenge of some wind and the sun in their faces. But It's just 27 is typically not enough to put the Koreans under pressure. Unless they do this.
Now, was he pointing at his eyes there? I think he might have been, you know. Kim Jae-duk taking his time.
So I just said that 27 typically isn't enough to be a threat to Korea, and now Korea shoots at 27. So that means that Turkey can put some pressure on if they shoot a very good second rotation. Turkey, sorry.
Another 10. Mete Gazos on the line. Can he produce it? Can, and it was right on the buzzer as well for a 56. And a little bit of pressure on Korea. Yes, 57 is available to them, but a 27 shot through the first rotation as Kim Woo-jin gets his second arrow out. So now 2 10s required to level the score.
Yeah, and they seem to be plagued by the circumstances. It's not straightforward to them to just bang out some really high scores again, like they did in semifinals.
And that means that the points in this set go to Italy. And is this to Turkiye? But is this gonna continue? Surely you would think. Well, it's pretty much clear to everyone now. They've been pretty open about it with their body positions and stuff, that the light is affecting them. Why would they not put some kind of shade on, some kind of hat, some kind of sunglasses, something?
Yeah, well, this is what's bugging me as well. I don't know if they deliberately don't do it or if it's something that they just haven't encountered before, which is very unlikely because they're very experienced. But it almost seems like they're giving themselves an extra handicap by not aiding themselves against the sun.
But perhaps if they've never done it before, doing it now is not the right idea because they're certainly not used to it. But yeah, I mean, there are reasons for not wearing a hat, interfering with the string and all that kind of stuff that you told me about, and many more that I don't know about. But surely that's not the case with sunglasses, contact with the string.
Yeah, although sunglasses, well, you must have worn sunglasses in the car and had the sun directly in your eyes. It doesn't necessarily make you see any better.
Very true.
So yeah, it's difficult to tell why they're not doing anything about it. It's also difficult to tell if this is what is actually plaguing him or if it's maybe the wind or something else. But
yeah,
in any case, it's giving Turkey an opportunity to really get into this match.
Well, it certainly is, but Kim Woo-jin there picking up a 10 there, and he got a really clear view from that shot from behind Kim Woo-jin exactly how difficult the light is right in front of them.
Yeah, and you're basically seeing what the target camera is seeing, right? With the sun flaring into your eyes, and it's all going to be a bit blurry, and it's all going to be a bit difficult to see.
Door open again. making some adjustments, but you know, these arrows are certainly in the second half of each set so far for Korea. They must be using the force or something to get the scores they're getting.
Yeah, when they're in full draw, when they get to full draw, their top limb is currently blocking the sun, so they can see their sight, and I think they can see the target quite okay. But what might be happening is because they are, it's like such a narrow window of shade that they're working with. Maybe they're a bit cramped up because they don't want to get out of that window, and therefore shooting worse shots. But I'm just speculating at this point.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting point though, isn't it? Well, didn't get a view of where that went. Our scorer has put it down as a 9.
Yeah, I think it was a 9 high right.
So a 28 for Turkiye. You can see what Chef was talking about, the shadow on Kim Woo-jin's face there. We'll get another shot of that now as well. With Lee Woo-suk. See the upper limb of the bow just blocking out that right eye with the shade. Turkiye fist bumping and high-fiving. They sniff an opportunity here. Nice finish. A massive roar from Kim Jae-duk. 56, 55, 55 for Korea.
So putting all of the pressure on his teammates here to shoot 2 10s to draw the set level.
No 10s so far from Ildirmis, and that remains the case. And now Metagazos has to pull the team together because they've fallen behind again. So a free arrow, a free hit for Metagazos, and a 55 for them means that Korea, perhaps not as convincingly as we expect, have gone 4-2 up here.
Yeah, the match is so far has been much closer than what I would have expected beforehand.
But Korea still in with a shout. They need to win this next set outright, and perhaps today is the first day where I'm certainly comfortable saying they've actually got a chance against Korea here.
Yeah, especially right now, because you can see that the little bar of shade that they have from their top limb is slowly disappearing as the sun turns further and further west. So it's going to be interesting to see if this end they will, or at this set they will still have, you know, the benefit of their top limb blocking the sun. There's not much you can do except for maybe take a couple steps left on the line so that you know you turn away with the sun a bit. Yeah, well, Turkey just seems to be dealing with the sun a bit better, and therefore leveling the level of shooting a bit with Korea, that on paper should be the clear favorite.
Yeah, there's no argument that, you know, the Koreans can't be used to this. A clear day in Seoul is very bright. Turkiye start set number 4, and it's a must-win set if they're going to take the world title.
8.
That was a long hold, and you could see that he was blown off target just at the end of the shot sequence. So the fact that he's nearly got it into the gold was still actually quite impressive.
This is tricky viewing now, because 2 8s, even with a slightly weakened Korean team is probably not enough. 25 set by them. Now Korea have an opportunity to almost completely put this to bed with the next 3 arrows. Well, you can see that the audience in the crowd, the Korean supporters, part of the delegation of the athletes from the women's side of the team, all shaded up perfectly. Big hats, and even their faces wrapped up to protect them from the sun. More like what we're used to seeing from the Korean team. Serious pressure now on Turkiye.
It seems as though Korea has decided they're not going to have Turkey take this 12th win away from them. They seem on a mission.
And certainly not being handed to them, but these lower scores, these drop scores from Turkiye, definitely making life easier for Korea. Another 10 to finish from Gazos, 3 10s and a 9 from him throughout the match with the closing arrow. He knows this is gone. Well, there's something absolutely disastrous happens. Kim Woo-jin, Lee Moo-seok and Kim Jae-duk to finish things off for Korea for a defense of the world title, and as Chef said, world title number 12.
There was a bit of an anxious look on Woo-jin's face when he released that arrow, but it was still well into the 9 ring, so no man overboard there.
So it comes down to Kim Jae-duk. Gives it a little bit of welly to get it across, but 9 is more than enough for Korea to be recrowned world champions. They defended the title they won last time around and will stand on the podium once again. It's certainly not been the World Championships Korea will look back on with the most pride, but the men's team have done it for them. Kim and Lee plus coach, champions of the world again. Hats off to Turkiye, who claimed their first ever recurve men's team medal at the World Championships, and it's a silver, and they've had the opportunity and the learning opportunity to shoot on the finals field at the World Championships, which will bode them well in the future. But for now, Korea remain the champions of the world. So confirmation there that Kim and Lee have reclaimed the world title they won last in Yankton here in Berlin. And very shortly we'll see them on top of the podium. Perhaps before that we'll have a chance to find out what on earth they're going to do about dealing with the sun in the future. But didn't hamper them enough not to win the world title here. So congratulations to them.
Wir bereiten jetzt eine Siegerehrung vor. Danach kommen wir zu den Recurve Mixed Teams. Und da haben wir deutsche Beteiligung.